Nearly 95% of the wasabi on global dinner tables is actually an imposter. Do we even realize it? Is that sharp, stinging heat shooting straight up our nostrils truly what we crave? Or is it just a chemically induced illusion?
I'm Edward. Join me as we trace the journey of this extraordinary plant on QC Project Simple Things.
Today, we are performing a reality audit. Why have we accepted a substitute for decades, and what truly hides within that fleeting green heat? At its core, wasabi isn't a powder or a commercial paste. It is the biological masterpiece of a highly sensitive plant known as Wasabia japonica, sometimes also classified as Eutrema japonicum. It belongs to the Brassicaceae family, and this plant refuses common conditions. Unlike the rugged white horseradish that grows easily in ordinary soil, true wasabi is a child of the stream. It survives only in misty valleys where pure mountain water flows constantly over its roots. The part we prize is not the leaves, but the rhizome, a thick, pale green subterranean stem that stores a complex library of flavors. The secret lies in the plant's chemical defense system, a delicate network of glucosinolates. When grated correctly, these compounds break down to release an earthy, herbal aroma reminiscent of a forest after rain. Unlike the harsh artificial green of commercial substitutes, fresh wasabi produces a soft, creamy texture with a gentle pastel hue. It offers a balanced sensory experience, a subtle sweetness layered beneath its pungent heat, refreshing the palate rather than delivering a one-dimensional burn to the nasal passages. It didn't start as a luxury condiment. The story of wasabi began as a weapon for survival. Back then, as early as the 10th century, Japanese people didn't value wasabi for its flavor profile. They treated it primarily as a medicinal plant. In a world without refrigeration or freezing technology, eating raw seafood was a dangerous gamble with bacteria. Wasabi didn't appear to make the food taste better. It appeared to make it safer. Over time, through empirical observation, ancient people realized that wasabi possessed a miraculous ability to slow down food spoilage. A scientific fact they couldn't yet name was the power of isothiocyanates. When the wasabi rhizome is grated, the enzyme myrosinase triggers a chemical reaction that releases these molecules, creating a potent biological shield capable of neutralizing foodborne pathogens like E. coli and Staphylococcus. Wasabi, therefore, was not just a seasoning. It was a natural antibiotic harvested from cold mountain streams, providing a defense mechanism for an entire culinary culture long before modern food safety existed. The existence of fresh wasabi today is owed to an extreme commitment to ancient stone filters in Shizuoka and Izu, the most renowned wasabi-growing regions in Japan. Here, farmers transformed agriculture into a geological art form through the tatami-ishi system. This is a highly sophisticated, multi-layered stone terrace structure. The bottom layer consists of large rocks, topped by medium gravel and finished with fine sand. As spring water weaves through these stone layers, it is not only stripped of impurities, but also constantly oxygenated, keeping the temperature stable at 13 to 15 degrees Celsius year-round, a critical condition to prevent rhizome rot. The pairing of raw fish and wasabi is not a random decorative choice. It's a survival legacy written by the instincts of dozens of generations. Since the 10th century, wasabi has emerged as a mandatory ingredient in prescriptions to protect against foodborne bacteria. The allyl isothiocyanate compounds in wasabi possess powerful bacteriostatic properties, making the meal not only more appetizing and flavorful, but also significantly safer against the risks of raw seafood. Beyond its role as a condiment, wasabi carries a much deeper meaning within Japanese culture. It represents the absolute intersection of humanity and nature, where a harsh geological farming system becomes a symbol of refinement. Enjoying wasabi is more than just eating a rhizome. It is experiencing a cultural heritage preserved in its purest form for hundreds of years in sacred lands like Shizuoka. So, why does wasabi possess such an extremely short flavor lifespan? The answer lies in a chemical warfare triggered the moment its plant cells are crushed. Think of wasabi as a gas bomb that is only activated when you grate it. Unlike chili peppers, where the compound capsaicin binds to your tongue for a lingering burn, wasabi operates through highly volatile molecules called isothiocyanates. When you grate the rhizome, enzymes break down glucosinolates, releasing a pungent chemical mist. Here's the fun fact. Wasabi doesn't actually target your taste buds. Instead, these vaporized molecules rush into your nasal passages and trigger a specific receptor called TRPA1, often nicknamed the wasabi receptor. This is why wasabi delivers an electric shock straight to your brain that vanishes as fast as smoke, rather than the slow, painful burn of a habanero. Because of this volatility, wasabi is in a 15-minute race against the atmosphere. Within moments of being grated, the isothiocyanates begin to dissipate. After 15 minutes, the aroma is gone and the pungency falls flat. This is why traditional sushi chefs in Japan only grate wasabi seconds before serving, often sealing it between the fish and the rice to trap the peak reaction. You aren't just eating a condiment. You are consuming a chemical reaction at its absolute peak. Many people think that when they feel that electric heat rocket up their nose from a green paste on a sushi plate, they are experiencing the pinnacle of Japanese cuisine. But here's the truth. Most of the world has never actually tasted real wasabi. What we are consuming is an industrial illusion crafted from white horseradish, mustard powder, and green food coloring. So why has this substitution become the global standard? The answer lies in a harsh economic equation. Wasabi japonica is a crop that refuses all the conveniences of modern agriculture. It requires 18 to 24 months to mature in cold mountain streams, with strictly controlled temperatures. With prices reaching $200 to $300 per kilogram, serving authentic wasabi in casual restaurants is a financial impossibility. However, there is a technical fact few realize. Fake wasabi is negatively reshaping our palate. While genuine wasabi offers a subtle herbal aroma and a sweet finish, the substitute is overloaded with sinigrin, a compound found in horseradish. Sinigrin creates a harsh bitterness and a lingering sinus pain, which many diners now mistakenly identify as the hallmark of strong wasabi. While it looks vibrant and feels powerful, it is more of a myth than a miracle. We have accepted an imposter not because it is better, but because it is cheaper and easier to satisfy palates that have become accustomed to industrial flavors. This compromise reflects a world where accessibility has completely overshadowed authenticity. Today, you'll find wasabi everywhere, but in completely clashing forms. From vibrant snack aisles filled with wasabi peas to the durable $5 green tubes in almost every household refrigerator, industrial wasabi has carved out a life of its own. It is no longer a fresh condiment. It's a pre-packaged sensory blast designed for shelf stability, fitting perfectly into the fast-paced global lifestyle. Yet, in the quiet sanctuaries of Michelin-starred sushi restaurants in New York, London, or Tokyo, the story is entirely different. Here, wasabi is not a side dish. It is a luxury item priced at $200 to $300 per kilogram. Because it is so difficult to grow and transport, a handful of farms in the UK and the Pacific Northwest have turned to aquaponics systems to simulate mountain streams, attempting to break the monopoly of Japanese geology. A chef hand-grating a rhizome on shark skin moments before serving is a silent commitment to the umami synergistic effect. A technical secret: real wasabi contains specific enzymes that break down protein chains in raw fish upon contact, releasing sweet amino acids. When you taste sashimi with freshly grated wasabi, you aren't just feeling heat, You are experiencing the umami of the fish, amplified to its peak. Every grain of wasabi is a quiet lesson in the Japanese philosophy of impermanence. The most refined things are temporary, arriving suddenly and vanishing fast. To value it is to accept patience and presence in every single moment. I want to give you a tool to audit your sushi plate instantly, the 10-second rule. When the wasabi is placed in front of you, don't just look at the color. Observe its texture for the first 10 seconds. If you see a smooth, uniform paste with a vibrant neon green, it is undoubtedly a mix of horseradish and food coloring. Authentic wasabi must have a natural grittiness, with visible particles from the rhizome being freshly grated. A sharp technical tip: observe its biological viscosity. If you gently pull it apart with chopsticks, real wasabi will be slightly sticky and moist, holding the natural juices of the freshly broken plant cells. In contrast, the imposter is often dry or artificially gummy due to additives. Most importantly, take a deep breath. True wasabi offers a refined herbal aroma in those first 10 seconds, rather than a harsh chemical burn that lingers. Don't let the vibrant facade deceive you. Let the texture and the fleeting essence guide your clarity. So, should you constantly search for real wasabi in a world filled with imposters? It depends on what you value: a convenient $5 nasal shock or a cultural legacy nurtured for 24 months in cold mountain streams. Authentic wasabi is more than a condiment. It is the embodiment of the luxury of time and the philosophy of appreciating the fleeting. Don't choose wasabi just to test your heat tolerance. Choose it because you understand that the most refined things don't stay for long. They arrive suddenly and vanish fast to remind us to stay fully present. Because sometimes, even the simplest things have the deepest roots. If you enjoyed this story about that fleeting green heat, tell us in the comments what simple thing we should explore next. Your idea might become our next episode.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the simple things in everyday life. Because what you see is never the whole story. There's always something deeper beneath the surface. See you in the next one.